Good afternoon. I hope everyone's having a thankful Thursday. I know I am. So I came on real quickly to tell my story that I think I don't know if I told it last year or the year before, but today is June 24th. June 24th of 2013, my job was eliminated. And for those that don't know, I worked for LifeSource, the blood bank in Illinois, in Chicago. Well, Chicagoland area, we'll say. um, Please say hello. Hi. Um, so I worked there almost 6 years. Like I was just a few months shy of 6 years. And when I tell you that made a big deal, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I couldn't sleep the night of June 23rd. So my job is a 24-hour job. I worked at hospitals. So I was like, let me just go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning. I went to Northwestern's OB department and did what I do, talked to the nurses and all that good stuff, delivered some stuff, blah, blah, blah. And went back home. And when I woke up, there was a message on my Blackberry that my boss wanted to see me. And so I was like, oh, and so I set my alarm so that I woke up in time. Went to the office, and the weird thing was he was on vacation. That should have clued me in that something was strange, but I'm slow. So I go to the office, and they were like, Renee, what are you doing here? Because I was never in the office. And I was like, oh, Tony wanted to see me. No big deal, blah, blah, blah. So he tells me to go upstairs. I never go upstairs because upstairs is like admin stuff, like administrators of the blood bank. Our department was this big, and we had our own little corner, and that's where I stayed. So I go upstairs and he comes in, and then one of the HR people comes in and they're like, well, your job's been eliminated. I was like, what? And the craziest thing is that on my way to the office, I heard God Will Make a Way. I believe that's what it's called by Shirley Caesar. And in that moment, when they said that, I heard it in my ears and was like, and honestly, I felt bad. Tony looked so sad. He looked like he had lost his best friend. I felt so bad. But I was fine, unbelievably fine, like really okay with the whole thing, which is weird. But I was fine. And I was like, oh, okay. So my first thing, as soon as they finished talking, was, there's a lot of stuff in my car that needs to get out because now I don't have nothing to do with this job. So I need to get my car cleaned out, right? So they were like, oh, we'll follow you down and we'll get it out. Thank you. And so they emptied out my car and I left and I was to never return again. And and they of course gave me a package and stuff, and so that's why the 6 years was significant. So I was just shy of the 6 years, and so had I had the 6 years, um, my loans would have been paid by the government because I worked for a nonprofit. My federal loans, federal student loans. So that was a mess. I was so upset because I was like right there, like I was right on the cusp of it. So, needless to say, I am paying Uncle Sam and everybody else because I didn't get that benefit. So, they gave me a package which included one, they paid me for all my time off that I still had available, and then they also paid me for what else did they pay me? Oh, and then they gave me some, I got paid paychecks for a while, and then they paid for me to have insurance for a few months. So, and this was before the fabulous Affordable Health Care Act had come in to play. So it was a good thing because Cobra was so expensive and is probably still expensive, but Affordable Care Act made going to the marketplace and finding insurance a whole lot easier, and it wasn't ridiculous. So that was that. It was quite an experience. Kudos and thank you, shout outs to Andrea Horton, who was the kind person who is an attorney, and she is a employment attorney before she became the fabulous chaplain and pastor that she is now. But she reviewed all my stuff for me. Met her through the fabulous Metro Board, and she reviewed the documents for me and helped me because there was some wording in there that was a little crazy. Basically saying that whatever jobs that I applied for, I had to let them know and all this stuff. Now, mind you, you know that what happened, but before I had come to my senses, I had started sending in applications. But So it was funny. And she was like, I don't think you want to do this. And I was like, oh, you're right. And so she was a godsend. Um, Kudos to the HR person that they had, the benefits person that they had at the time. I just lost her name. I can completely see her face, but she was fabulous because guess what? She ended up getting let go too, but she was very helpful in helping me to make certain that because my insurance was screwed. And I'm not sure why it was screwed, but it was screwed and it was all messed up. And I needed help. And so she was very helpful, even though she wasn't there anymore. She was helpful. So, yeah. And that was that. And that was 8 years ago today. So the other blessing was that my dear friend brother, Amara Kennedy, happened to be in town that weekend and wasn't leaving because I think that was I don't know what day of the week it was. Don't get me lying. But he was in town. And so we were already going to connect once I got off work. So then I called him on my way home at like 9, 10 in the morning and was like, so I just lost my job. Like my job was eliminated. He's like, what? And he goes, okay, well, by the time you get to your house, I'll be wherever, meet me there. Okay, fine. So I do. He's like, now tell me what happened. I tell him and he's like, okay. And he literally drove me all over the city that day. We went thrifting, we went to eat. He put gas in my car. Um, it was wonderful. Had a great day. Of course, I had to tell my parents, and my dad took it hard. Like, oh my God, she doesn't have a job, and he sounded like he had lost his best friend. I told my sister, I said, please talk to him because I'm not really mourning this. Like I hadn't cried. I still to this day haven't cried about it. Like I was like okay with it. And I think it's because I heard that God will make a way because the Lord speaks to you in strange places and strange ways. And he told me everything was going to be okay. And so for that reason, I didn't worry about it. And so, I was like, help him out. And so I was fine. I mean, and Amara really helped me. I think if Amara wasn't there, I might have started crying and been like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But I was fine. I was good. I was like, I got this. So before I dropped him off at the end of our day, because we had a fabulous day, at the end of our day, he said, I just want you to know that you weren't going to quit your job. And this was just God helping you because you were not going to leave. So he just pushed you out of it. So now you can do what it is you were supposed to do because you were not going to say goodbye to that job. And he was probably right because I'm a Virgo, I'm a planner, and the way that my life is set up, I like that, I got paid on the 1st and the 15th, I think it was, or whatever. And I liked that I donated blood and I got vacation time and I would take extended weekends. I never really would take off like weeks at a time. I would just take long weekends and so that's why I had a ton of vacation time available because I donated so much and we would get money for that. I mean, we would get vacation time for that. So he's probably absolutely right. I would have not quit my job. Um, so he was like, you need to pause because you need to do what you're supposed to do. I don't think it's for you to apply and go get another job. I think you need to do what it is you're supposed to do, which everyone knew and knows that I would like to have my own talk show. And I was like, okay. And I listened. I was listening to everybody who was talking to me. I was listening. The very next day, I was flying to New York to meet with my friend. We were she was doing promotions for a product or whatever. And so I was acting as her publicist. So we were flying in separately. So when we met up in the car, I told her, and she said, congratulations. And I'm like, these people are crazy. I don't know why they congratulate me, but all of them were right because 8 years later, I make more, have more time, spend more time with my family. Um, and I'm talking about not just my immediate family, but we're islanders. And so I've spent more time in the islands since I have not had a job than when I had one. Um, I've been able to help, I think, more people now than was able to help before when I had a job because I would have had to turn down a lot of these opportunities that have come my way because I would have had to go to work. Um, I never foresaw Out of Office with Dr. Renee, which is my show that's in all the doctors' offices across the country. Well, 45,000 or more doctors' offices across the country. I would have never foresaw that. Um, And then when the opportunity probably would have passed me because I met with them during the day, like all these things. I taped my show during the Out of Office with Dr. Renee was always taped during the day. All these things that would have interfered with me doing my job. Um, so I'm very grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded me. I'm grateful for the job that I had because I loved it. I would have done it for free, which they didn't know. I would have done it for free because it was very important work. I was the medical educator for the cord blood donation bank, and we did our bank, which is no longer. We did 7 to 8 donations. I mean, 7 to 8 transplants per month of cord blood. Cord blood can treat 70 different diseases, and one of them being sickle cell anemia, which obviously as a black person is very important to me. But yeah, so I would have done it for free, which they didn't know. So it was just like, okay, y'all don't need me, fine. And I um I've just learned so many lessons as an entrepreneur full time because I had my own business before I left my job. It's just that now I was full time doing my own thing, and it's just been it's been a ride, and I'm so glad that that happened the way it did because absolutely I probably would still be um, tiptoeing between the full time and entrepreneur. I would have been doing both, which would have probably drove me crazy. But I love this. I wake up when I want to. I'm sitting here on the porch in my parents' house because my daddy got sick last year. But if I had a job, that wouldn't have been possible. So, because my 40 hospitals were in the Chicagoland area, I couldn't very well do that from home. So, well, from this home. So, everything happens for a reason, and I'm grateful that I've met the people that I've met, and I've, been introduced to the people and all this stuff because none of it would have been possible if I still was behind a desk, quote unquote, because I really was in my car a whole lot with 40 some hospitals. I was in the car a lot. But yeah, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Um, Saturday, my Detroit area people, I will be on Channel 7 News at 9:30 in the morning. So I hope you guys will watch me on WXYZ. And Saturday, 3 o'clock, the Ask Dr. Renee show will be on YouTube as usual on Ask Dr. Renee, my channel. And we are talking to DJ Wiz, Mark Eastman, who is the DJ for Kid and Play. Um, and he's the one closing out Black Music Month. We've had a really good month. And what else? I think that's it. Of course, Saturday on the news, I'll be talking about allergies and asthma and Mommy, I Can't Breathe. And if you haven't pre ordered your autographed copy, your time is running short. MommyICan'tBreathe.com. Let me see if I have a banner here. This is so convenient, but it's so tiny. Let me make sure. There we go. So, if you haven't, there you go. Thank you. Yes, Ulysses. Good friends are the best things ever. Thank you. You're a Sparty. Hey, Sparty. CJ, fellow Detroiter, thank you so much. And yeah. So this last year, I've taken entrepreneurship to a whole new level with learning to trade. And um, yeah, it's just been a game changer. Oh, and my bookkeeper. Pretty Counts LLC right here on Facebook. You can find her. She is amazing and has really changed my whole life. And I'm so grateful to her. Um, so if you need a bookkeeper, you need to tell her I told you. She is amazing. And she files my taxes too. So she does my taxes and she keeps track of the books all year long. And when I tell you that was a headache and a half as an entrepreneur, it was a headache and a half. But thankfully, whatever I did something right because I hadn't had any problems. But Jesus Lord, it was a headache and a half. So I'm so grateful to her. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I did pretty good, less than 15 minutes. Okay. everyone, I'll see you later. I just finished my first walk of the day. So we're at 6,000 steps. I got to get 12,000, So I'll walk maybe once or twice more today. But thank you so much. Have a great afternoon. Well, the rest of your, I guess, evening now, right? Bye.